Hello, this is my sweet mess, and welcome to my kitchen, where every week I make a mess trying new recipes in the pursuit of something sweet. This week I am excited to try a new to me recipe for Winter Wonderland chocolate chip cookies by Emma from Emma's Cake Studio, and I'll leave a link to the original recipe in the show notes below. These cookies are a festive twist on a classic chocolate chip cookie. They're the perfect balance of salty and sweet, chewy and crunchy, and let's be honest, they are so stinking cute. Your family is gonna gobble them right up. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's jump right into the bake by beginning with our mise en place. Mise en place is a French term for putting in place or everything in its place. It's the process of prepping your tools and ingredients before you get started baking. Now this recipe is very special. The recipe ingredients are listed in weight and volume. I chose to measure the ingredients out by weight because it's more precise. But if you don't have a scale to weigh out your ingredients, then using a measuring cup is just fine. For this recipe, you need 1 cup or 226 grams of unsalted butter that's softened. I chose to use European butter because it has a higher butter fat to create a rich flavor and an enhanced overall buttery taste. You're also going to need 1 cup or 200 grams of granulated sugar, half a cup or 110 grams of light brown sugar, 2 large eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 cups or 375 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt. Now the recipe calls for half of a teaspoon, but I went ahead and used a full teaspoon plus some finishing salt to sprinkle on top of the cookies as they come out of the oven. You will also need 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. You'll also need 1 cup of white chocolate chips and a half a cup of sprinkles. I used a combination of red and green jimmies and red and green confetti sprinkles, as well as white snowflake sprinkles. Optionally, I have some powdered sugar here for dusting on top of the cookies to make it look like snow. Again, this is an optional step, but I think it'll add to the magic. Now that the ingredients are prepped, let's prep our equipment. You are going to need a medium-sized mixing bowl, either a large mixing bowl and a hand mixer, or a stand mixer fitted with a paddle attachment, a spatula or a spoon to mix everything together, and a disher of some kind to ensure that your cookies are uniform in size and shape. This is a 2 tablespoon scoop, which I think made the perfect size cookie. Finally, you need a few cookie sheets lined with parchment paper and a cooling rack. Now that the ingredients are measured and the equipment is prepared, let's get started with our bake. In the medium-sized mixing bowl, we are going to combine the dry ingredients. We will mix together the 375 grams of flour, teaspoon of baking soda, and the teaspoon of salt, and give that all a mix. Once everything is well combined, we will set this aside for later. In a large mixing bowl with an electric hand mixer or in a stand mixer, we will cream together the 226 grams of unsalted softened butter, 200 grams of granulated sugar, and 110 grams of light brown sugar. We will cream this all together until the mixture is light and fluffy. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes, but make sure to turn the mixer off a few times throughout the process just to scrape down the bottom and sides of the bowl. Once that looks well combined, we will add in the eggs one at a time, mixing well after each egg is added. Once all the eggs are well combined, we will add in the 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And again, Stop and scrape down the sides of the bowl. Once the vanilla and the eggs are fully combined, we'll turn the mixer off and get that bowl of dry ingredients that we prepared earlier. We will slowly add the dry ingredients to the mixture. To avoid that flour spilling back out when the mixer is turned on, make sure to give the batter a few turns with the spatula and then turn the mixer on. We will repeat this process until all of the dry ingredients are incorporated into the batter and we don't see any dry ingredient streaks in the batter. Once the batter looks good, I'll carefully take the bowl off the mixer and begin folding in the cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips and the cup of white chocolate chips. I'm saving some chips to put on the top of the cookies before baking. This is optional, you don't have to, but I think it'll look nice, so I'm going to keep some of the chocolate chips in reserve. Fair warning, this batter is thick, so be careful and take your time mixing everything together. Once all of the chips are well incorporated into the batter, grab one of those parchment-lined baking sheets that we prepped earlier, and we're going to scoop the dough into balls and place them on the parchment-lined baking sheet. Again, I'm using a 2 tablespoon scoop here, and it resulted in about 32 cookies. This cookie sheet is going into the refrigerator to chill the dough, so don't worry about crowding the cookies at this step. Once all of the cookies are scooped out, take those reserved chocolate chips and press them into the top of the dough balls. It's at this point you can also add the sprinkles onto the top of the dough balls. Don't forget that the cookies will expand when they cook, so feel free to go pretty dense on the sprinkles. Adding the chocolate chips and sprinkles to the tops of the dough balls would be a great opportunity to have any helping hands who are interested in cooking participate in the recipe. Once all the dough is scooped and sprinkled, pop the shaped dough into the fridge for at least 30 minutes before baking. It's at this point I will also go ahead and preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll be back here in about 30 minutes ready to bake cookies. It's been a little over 30 minutes and the dough is fully chilled. My oven is preheated, so let's get that first batch of cookies into the oven. I'm going to take my second prepared cookie sheet and carefully place those chilled dough balls a few inches apart on the cookie sheet before putting them into the 350 degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes or until the edges are set but the centers look slightly underbaked. The first round is out of the oven and the second round is in the oven. These look great. So I'm going to let the cookies cool on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes and then transfer them to a cooling rack to cool completely. While they're cooling on the baking sheet, I'm also going to sprinkle a little finishing salt on top of the cookies. I'm going to repeat these steps until all of the cookies are baked and fully cooled. And I'm back! Look how great these cookies look! They are so festive and fun. Perfect to share with family or set out for Santa. I love how the sprinkles turned out. I'm glad I went with a little bit of a denser application of the sprinkles. I think that red and green really pop on the cookies, and I'm glad I used different types of sprinkles. I think it adds to the fun, festive look of the cookie. Let's give these guys a little taste test. And wow, these taste as good as they look. The semi-sweet and the white chocolate chips work so nicely together, and the sprinkles add a nice little crunchy element to the cookies. These are perfectly done, buttery, salty, and sweet. And the powdered sugar looks like snow on top of these winter Wonderland cookies. I am off to find a glass of milk to go with these cookies. Please let me know in the comments below if you try this recipe and if you decided to make any changes based on your family's preferences. Thank you so much for being here today. And remember, trying new things is messy, but the end result is pretty sweet. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.